Sammy Baugh, though 36 years old and with 15 seasons of full competition behind him, gives no signs of nearing the end of his amazing career.
Art Monk is now number one, the most prolific pass receiver in the National Football League's history. Touchdown, Washington Redskins.
This is Harry Hog Football, the original Redskins Fans podcast. On today's show, we talk about news from the week, like is the team sold, free agency news, who's gone, and who's here. This and much more live with Aaron and John. Yo, 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 yo. What's up, John?
Yo, what's up?
Excellent. Welcome, everybody. Harry Hog Football, episode 573, in which we get to discuss sale theories.
All the sale theories, Jeff Bezos.
All the players we lost.
All the players we gained.
We gained. And yeah.
Cole Holcomb, cut!
Well, he's not really cut, but
He's not really cut because he was a free agent.
He's
but
gone.
Still, cut!
All right, let's start with Cole Holcomb then. Let's just jump right into it, shall we?
Well, let's jump right into the whole thing. I don't think we need to start with Cole Holcomb. I think we need to start with the fact that Jacoby Brissett is now the backup quarterback because my dog, Taylor Heineke, is now an Atlanta Falcon. He got paid. He's getting paid more this year than he has made his entire pro football career.
Yep.
So good for him. And he's at his hometown team. So,
and I don't think there's any Redskins fans that are faulting him for this that I've seen. Everyone's like, good for you, dude.
Coach Ron, seriously. I don't want to play this final game because I don't get my back broken by getting sacked 17 times by the Dallas Cowboys. You need to put Sam Howell in this game, not me.
If I get my back broken, dude, then I'm not going to make any money, and I'm not like these other guys that, like Albert Hainsworth dudes that don't earn their money. I've earned it.
Right.
So you need to not get me killed in this game.
That was one of the best decisions that we've had with this team for years because that gave us that glimpse of Sam Howell as a starter. And it was enough that we're hanging out with Howell and Jacoby Brissett as his backup, which is saying something.
That's a good point, dude, because, I mean, what if we had not had that glimpse of Howell? How would we be feeling right now?
We would feel a lot more.
We wouldn't have anyone but this dude that hadn't played at all.
We would be like, we don't even know if this guy's any good. We've seen him against third stringers in like the third preseason game.
Yeah. Instead, we got to see him
and
against
he eats
Dallas.
chicken nuggets, and that's all he wants to eat. I don't know about this guy, man.
I mean, I like some chicken nuggets, but
yeah.
there's something about their fakeness with the crispy, but not too crispy exterior. Slightly peppery flavor. Good. Anyway,
I'm having a Guinness for the first time in a very, very long time because St. Patrick's Day is tomorrow.
Yes, happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. And hopefully you'll have a Guinness and maybe I might go over to the Irish Rover tomorrow. I used to do that every single year.
You used to do that all the time. And then you call me up and be like, dude, what should I get?
I'm at the Irish Rover with some Guinness stew and some fish and chips and
ooh, yum.
watching the dancers that you know that whole Irish dance thing, why they don't move their upper bodies.
Yeah, because you weren't allowed to dance. The English, amongst all the other stuff that they did to repress the people there, they made them stop dancing. So they pretend to keep their upper bodies level. So it didn't look like they were dancing when you saw them through the windows.
Like, imagine these like British guys looking all smug, walking down the street, looking through the pubs, and they're just like,
and the girls, and they're all sitting there, but their feet are going like dancing all over the place.
But anyway, I used to go every year for that, but then I kind of had kids, and there's like picking them up from school, and for a while I would go over there and get carry out just to keep the tradition alive. But it sucked because they charged me cover to go in to get carry out and then come right back out. I'd be like, but I'm not staying for the bands. I'm just going in and coming back. It'd be like, sorry, you got to pay the cover.
Huh. I'd be like, can you go get my food then?
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, man. So another great St. Patrick's Day coming up tomorrow. And we could celebrate it talking about all the guys that we signed, starting with the offensive line.
Let's do that. So
first up, Aaron, this is one of your favorites. Wiley?
Yes'm. There was an old play that we did in high school called Wiley and the Hairy Man.
And the Hairy Man. Wiley?
We don't even have to give him a nickname. We just say it like that. Wiley?
Oh, yeah. It'll just be a Wiley. Well, I was pumped when I saw that Wiley was going to be a free agent.
Yeah.
Because he had a really, really great game. They didn't give up a single sack in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
so I'm hoping that he's got upside and he's going to keep building on that. It sounds like they're going to stick him at right tackle and bump Josh's favorite dog, Sam Cosby, into right guard.
Well, apparently this dude, I read this today, he can play anywhere on the line. And
yeah.
He didn't really say exactly where he's going to play, which is interesting because depending on what O-lineman we pick up in the draft, you know what I mean? Like if we pick up some top
play
tackle,
center, son.
I mean, if we pick up some top tackle, it's like, dude, you're moving into guard. But if we pick up some top guard, he's out to tackle.
You're all right, or you might be the second tackle, like the swing tackle.
And you might be the fourth center.
You might be Tyler Larson, the fourth center, who has also
resigned.
Who's resigned. I was about to say we need a soundtrack for that part.
It's gonna have to be my record scratch sound. It's like okay, so we got Tyler Larson, who, remember there were a few games last year where I was like, dudes, if Tyler Larson isn't in, we're gonna lose.
I know, fourth string center. And we needed him because Nick Martin
don't call me Zach.
I couldn't remember Richard Martin. was whichever one he was not cutting it. He is I don't know, like his brother's an all-pro center and he is not.
Yeah,
he might be, his brother might be guard, I forget. He was one of those on that awesome Cowboys line from a few years ago, which has been slowly but surely getting depleted as they march towards cutting your favorite dog, Zeke.
They cut their center.
They cut their center. It was the last play you ever had with the Cowboys. The center when he got run over like a truck.
Speaking of the O-line, dude, don't you love it that we completely ended Zeke's career with the Cowboys by just running him over when he decided he was going to play center?
I mean, I still don't understand what the point of that play was. There was like, he was going to, did they not expect to get bum rushed by like three dudes at the same time going right for the quarterback?
Dude, Mike McCarty.
Maybe he did. Maybe it's just like, I'm going to get crushed. Hike!
Mike McCarty, dude, spent hours and hours drawing that thing up and was like, this is going to work, dude. This is going to work.
What am I supposed to say about that?
And it's like, no, it's not. That wouldn't have worked against the Pop Warner team. I mean, what were they thinking?
Tried that. That was like a Jim Zorn special play. We got destroyed on it too.
Maybe he learned it from Jim Zorn. Anyway, let's give a shout out.
That's how all Redskins fans watching that game, or Washington Commanders, or Washington football team fans watching that game. All of us have seen that Jim Zorn nonsense before, so we were just like, "What in the hell are they doing?"
I'd like to give a shout out to those in the Peanut Gallery, which happens to be Repeat and Chris Comerton right now. I think Firefly is in there. I think he might be asleep by now. Isn't he from Scotland? He's in Scotland. You know, Josh's hometown.
Josh's home country, Scotland.
He's like in the process of getting a visa to work there now.
He needs to buy a Stuart.
He had to go fly to DC and deal with all this paperwork and stuff. Anyway.
Really?
Yeah. Shout out to Ian28 listening in the live podcast on Discord. I have no idea who is in. Kenny Ken's supposed to be on here. Let's see. I think he sent me. I think I'm in. LOL. No, you're not, dude.
Is he,
you gotta click
is he in
into
right
the
now?
room. Oh, he is in. Are you
He
on,
is in
Kenny?
there.
Gentlemen, what's going on?
There he is.
There he is. It's Kenny Ken. I didn't see you. I had to scroll down on my. Little Discord window.
Oh, I'm trying. What's going on, guys?
What's going on?
We got all the stuff about all these.
I'm sorry. You're like kind of cutting out a little bit, like noise cancellation.
Uh-oh.
I said, are we pumped about all these signings or what?
Oh, there we go. Yeah, man. We were just discussing our new linemen. It was nice to get a couple of linemen.
We got some hogs. Nice.
Hold on. I'm turning up your audio. Try to talk now.
Can you hear me?
We got a
Is it
couple
better?
of.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
We
We were just talking about this Andrew Wiley guy, the guy that we got to tackle. Offensive
From
lineman,
Kansas
I guess.
City.
Yeah, no, here's the thing I like about this Wiley guy. Apparently last season was not his best season. In fact, I've heard people say it was his worst season. But
Yeah, it was kind of average.
he did have the great game in the Super Bowl, and this also kind of, how do I say this? Hopefully puts to rest this theory from Shady McCoy about Eric Bieniemy being the bad dude to work with, because if that were
He
the case,
loves them.
yeah, this guy said he was the reason he came here, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hear the press conference? He was just raving about Bieniemy. He was just saying how much he loves his attitude, how much he brings it, how loud he is, how passionate he is. I love it. What I'm hearing about Bieniemy, man, is great things. I don't know how this guy didn't become a head coach.
Yeah.
He might end up being it. He might end up being the head coach here, depending on how we do this year.
Oh, he will be.
Yeah, he might be our head coach. He's going to be Basil's pick.
Yeah, we'll see. Oh, yeah.
That's
So we asked Kenny Ken to come on because a lot of you guys in the Discord room, Kenny Ken has been reporting about theories about the sale of the team, which we'll start with. And I know you've been doing a lot of your research on the sale of the team and what's going on behind the scenes. So tell us what's going on.
So right now we're kind of in a stalemate, unfortunately, man. It looks like this whole investigation that the feds are doing on Snyder has kind of put a halt to everything. The good news is he's broke. Like he's actually broke. Like we were talking about this whole escrow thing. So I don't know if you guys saw all the screenshots that I was putting up there, that he's not actually paying the escrow for who's the guy that for Payne's contract extension. He's not paying that. It's not due until next year. So basically he's putting it on the next owner for when it comes to payment for Payne.
Yeah.
So in terms of everything else, like it's just a known fact that he's broke. This man has taken out obviously allegedly a scandalous, $55 million loan just to, stay afloat in terms of cash money. He's got no cash. That's why it took so long for us to re-sign Terry last year. We were waiting, and it was supposed to be such an easy decision. But in order to get that money in order, we had to wait like an extra few months to get Terry McLaurin's extension. So I don't know, man. It doesn't look like he cannot keep the team financially speaking.
And also, dude, remember the league had to give him a debt waiver just to buy out his minority partners.
Exactly. That's of $800 million. He owes the NFL $800 million. I think it starts, in 3 more years. Like it's when the money, like he needs to start paying back that money. So he owes money. Obviously he has the net worth of the team, but in terms of actual cash money, he just does not have it.
Yeah.
So that's why he's got no other choice but to sell.
Yeah, that Johnny Rockets isn't pulling in. Do you know anyone that actually likes
Six
Johnny
Flags.
Rockets or goes there? No one. It's nasty.
I remember Johnny Rockets lasted literally a summer here in Canada. There was one. We had one chain of three. We had three stores. I remember Johnny Rockets obviously because it's new, and it lasted one summer, and it was already they already went down on the.
Yeah, it's bad.
I've never heard of anyone having a good story of going to Johnny Rockets or going and having a great time at Six Flags or anything. It's like everything Snyder's ever touched is just poison. It just becomes a poison chalice.
It turns
Kind
to
of like
crap.
FedEx Field.
The poison
It
chalice.
turns to crap.
So obviously, like I was telling you guys, I have like a little like I enjoy this stuff, reading up on like what's going on in the back and the behind the scenes kind of things, and like I was saying before, the Josh Harris / Rails, what's it called, bid. It looks like it is the front runner. Like that guy AJ Perez that I talk to once in a while on Twitter. He's the head writer for Front Row Sports. He was basically saying that they're basically the front runners for it, but that Dan has not received an offer over $6 million. It's somewhere in the 5, and he is being stubborn. We all know Dan. He wants the $6 billion, even though he paid like not even $1 billion for it. But he just wants his $6 billion in order to cash out and say. But he also wants what's the word that the word that he's asking for from the NFL? Like he doesn't want any liability whatsoever going forward.
He wants them to not talk about all the stuff about it once he's gone.
Yeah.
He wants them to sign one of those disclosure agreements that he does with all of his employees and everything. And the NFL's like,
I still think they're holding that Mary Jo White report in their back pocket. Like, dude, you need to sell or this is coming out.
Yeah,
100%.
But what I'm also hearing is that it can work both ways, that investigation, because the NFL is holding it against them, saying, "Hey, sell the team, or we're going to release this." But Dan is apparently saying, "Well, what's in it?" Because if it's not as bad as what people are hoping for, then and he thinks that he can just withstand it, that's the reason for him to continue to try to keep the team. But if it's really bad, which the NFL, I think, is trying to get him to, hopefully believe is bad enough to like, it would really, kick him out. That's why they're like, it's like a seesaw, like either, hurry up and sell the team, hurry up and sell the team. But Dan is apparently saying, why, what's in it? And if it's not that bad, maybe I can withstand it. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Dan is saying, what's in the report about himself?
Like, what do they know about?
So how much of this dirty stuff do you have on me? Oh,
Yeah.
that's it. Oh, let's go.
That's all you got.
He knows how dirty he is, but he wants to know what's doing it.
Oh, cool. They don't know about that other stuff. We're good.
Exactly. Oh, okay. I'm keeping the team. No, but unfortunately, the reality is financially he cannot keep the team. That's the good news. Like, I know I'm pro Bezos. All that really matters to me is that he's selling the damn team. Like, we just don't want him. I don't care who sells it. Obviously, I prefer the endless money of a Bezos, but whoever buys this team, I'm down. I'm all for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
One thing that I was thinking of though, when you guys were talking about the payment and how Dan doesn't have to pay it if he sells the team because it's the 2024 when the payment is due. If you were him, what's preventing, if that's the case, and he knows that he's going to have to sell the team, what's preventing for him from going out and being like, dude, we're just going to get Lamar Jackson in here for $200 million guaranteed and 6 draft picks and all this stuff?
Yeah.
Great question though. What it is the signing bonus. So for Payne, the signing bonus was around, I want to say it's the top of around $20 million, but one of the analysts was just talking about it not too long, just yesterday, I believe. And what Dan did, or the team did, was they took that signing bonus of $20 million and they put it with so right now Payne basically just got $7 million. At the point of signing, he got $7 million, and then in December of this year, he gets another $7 million, and then in November, and then December he gets the rest of it. So he's able to break it down. But for a Lamar Jackson contract, that will be like a monster signing bonus. So there's no way that he'll be able to split, even if it's like $50 million. He's got to give a big chunk of that right now
of his own
so
money.
For him to sign of his own money, yeah. So
Which
for him to sign Lamar
have.
would be a lot more different. Exactly.
Dude, if he's having to borrow $55 million and hiding it from his minority partners, how can he even pay the players?
Yeah, it's
yeah.
I mean,
it's getting really bad.
And no one's heard from him either, dudes. He's apparently his wife was the one at the last owners meeting. And
so
I think
right now, I don't know if you guys know this, but they don't pay the players until they don't pay the players until the season starts. So right now, the players don't make any money. It's not like an annual salary. They get paid during the season, right? So they make week 1 week they get whatever, their salary breaks down during the season, not year round. So right now
still he'd have to
not
pay the signing bonus though if he did these giant.
But the
contracts.
signing bonuses, yes, 100%. He would have to pay the signing bonuses of anyone that he signs.
Interesting. So what about this Rails and Harris? He's Harris guy. I mean, the Rails guy is like a billionaire, right, from DC.
Right, local guy.
So he's worth. Forbes has them estimated around $6 billion. They have Harris at $5.5 billion. So that's a partnership of obviously around $11 billion. That would get it done. So but what I think and what everyone's on the internet is saying is that Bezos obviously has the money to counter anything, right? So if Harris and what was it, Bales?
Rails.
Harris and Rails.
Yeah. Harris and Rails. If they stop at 5.9, obviously as a businessman, Dan's hoping that, Bezos comes in with a 6.5 and says, all right, this is over. I'm buying the team. I think that's what we're kind of waiting for. But right now, I think Bezos and the Harris group are both waiting for this investigation to see what's going on. Because again, if he starts getting charged with federal crimes, the team goes from being 5.9 billion or 6 billion to 4 billion. You know what I mean? So it just drops. Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. 3-Pete in the chat room just had an interesting point that we haven't been factoring in, and that's that the NFL TV contracts that I believe are split evenly from all the teams would be enough to actually pay the players for the season.
Okay. That makes sense. It's a lot of money there. Jeff Bezos spent $1 billion.
So how much is it?
Football odds. So
do you know how much it is, Kenny Ken? How much does each team get from the TV rights, and is it more than the salary cap?
Absolutely. I think it's around give or take a few million here and there, but I'm pretty sure it's around $350 million each.
Oh, okay. So
just from the TV contract. So yeah,
just
from the TV contract.
Good call, 3-Pete.
Yeah, 3-Pete's 100% correct.
Printing money. That's crazy. Well, it still could very much be. It very much could still be Jeff Bezos, like you were just saying. The Bezos would come in and be like, "What's your highest bid? I give you another $1 billion. Give me the keys."
Exactly.
Another billion? I'd be like, I'll give you another $1.
I mean, he's got to build a stadium too.
Dude, imagine this stadium though. I'm sure the Rails and Josh Harris guy are going to be great. A, because they're not Dan Snyder,
and Harris B, anything else. And he owns professional sports teams like the Devils and the 76ers.
Dude, just think about this. Think about what the team would have at its disposal if Bezos owned the team. Think about Amazon Web Services and all those next-gen stats, and
think about all the books they'll be able to get,
and all that. And think about the stadium experience.
The stadium it could end up being just a beautiful stadium.
I mean,
Look what they just built, and they just built the arena in Vegas. It's a $2 billion just an arena. It's not even a stadium, but it's apparently
Yeah.
this interactive 8K state of the art. Like even the dome apparently moves and shifts and stuff like that. It's crazy. Like
Yeah.
you're talking about a completely state of the art futuristic stadium that Bezos would build because he has that money and he obviously wants to show it off.
yeah.
So
And
it's
think about
endless.
this, dude. Plumbing that works.
I mean, Bezos just met with the mayor recently. I still think that this whole thing is all Bezos making it happen, and at the very last second, he's going to be like, "This is my team."
I think it's sold. I think it's already done.
Yeah,
I think it's
that's what I
done.
was thinking.
I completely agree with John, man. Like, because you have to think about why. Obviously, you have to think why Bezos bought the Washington Post to begin with, right? He purchased it.
Yep.
He's got the political, pulls in Washington with the Post. Obviously being a billionaire and all these, billionaire parties and stuff in Washington, he's got the pull. He can pretty much do anything politically he wants when it comes to Washington. If he owned that team, I guarantee you it's going right to the K Stadium, right to the stadium site.
Can you imagine RFK Stadium 2.0?
Oh,
my gosh.
man. Dude, all I know is that Jim Irsay, the owner of the Indianapolis Colts, I think yesterday put out a tweet, and the tweet was that scene from South Park where Dan Snyder and the other 31 owners were going at it against each other, and I'm just like, why is this coming up from another owner?
Dude, that guy
In
hates Dan
preparation
Snyder.
for the owners' meetings next week.
Yep.
It's going to be
I'm
announced.
telling you,
soon.
something is happening, man. I don't know what, but obviously it's regarding the sale. Something is definitely happening.
Here's what I think is happening. Next week they will not vote Dan Snyder out. Next week they're going to be voting on if they accept whoever this new owner is, because it's done. It's already done.
It's done.
I think it's done.
I hope so, man. I really hope so.
And I'm going to the parade. If it's done, I'm heading out there. I'm going to be like, I'm coming into town for the parade.
Yeah. I might have to drive up there.
Like an honest question, will there, obviously I'm not from there, but will there be a parade? Because I really hope
There will be a parade.
Oh, yeah,
there will be a
There-
parade.
Yes.
The people in DC hate Dan Snyder so much.
Did you
It's
see
gonna
the
be
stuff?
It's going to be like celebrating a Super Bowl.
Did you see the stuff that's happening at the XFL game with the chants? F
And
Dan
the beer
Snyder
snake.
chants?
Yeah.
Oh, they want to have fun again.
Yeah, and if you look at those people that are doing the beer snake at the DC Defenders games, they're all wearing Redskins or Washington football team or Commanders jerseys or Nationals jerseys or Capitals jerseys. A few were wearing Wizards jerseys.
Yeah.
Some of them have DC United jerseys played in their own stadium.
Dude, there's going to be a parade. I guarantee
it's going to be a huge parade, and it's going to be a party.
It's going to
It's
be
going to
like,
be a day of recall.
dude, it's
going to be
like,
sponsored by like radio stations, maybe TV stations. It's going to be it's not going to be like cousin Jim breaking out his boombox in the corner and sticking it outside and cracking the fire hydrant in July.
Dude, it's going to be like the scene from The Wizard of Oz when the house lands on the witch and then the munchkins are released. Where are the munchkins getting released?
The Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Where's my sound effect?
I can't wait.
Cool. What was
Yeah, Jamie, that's basically when it comes to the song. That's where.
All right. Well, you'll keep us posted on it.
Yeah, dude.
Definitely.
And those of you guys listening, we hang out in our Discord chat room that Aaron set up for us a little bit ago. It's called, well, I don't know. It's called Harry Hog Football. People hanging out in the Peanut Gallery. Another place in there. You can go to it at tiny URL. .com/HarryHF.
Yes, that's it.
Did I get it right?
And you can hear more of Kenny Ken's insight basically 24/7 in the Discord room.
Yeah, because people are just chatting about it. It's Redskins fans only.
I work at night, so if you're looking for the nightly news, I'm there.
All right, man. Well, yeah, thanks for coming on. I know you're with your family and everything.
No problem, guys.
So,
Take care, okay?
Cool, man. All right. Thanks a lot, dude. We'll see you in the chat.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Take care, guys.
All right, you too. All right, everybody. That was Kenny Ken from Canada.
Kenny Ken.
I think isn't he Kenny Ken the 7th?
The 7th, dude. Yeah.
Kenny Ken the 7th. He needs to change his name to Kenny Ken the 7th. Yeah.
Kind of like 3P.
I'm gonna mute you there. I'm gonna ban.
So we have some other stuff to talk about here on Harry Hog Football. Let's go back to the offensive line.
Wait, hold on. Back to the signings. Wiley. We had just talked about Wiley.
We just talked about Wiley, but we didn't talk about the other dude. We got that Grit from the Giants.
Oh, the Grit. What was that?
Grit,
I heard that we signed the Grit, but then I thought someone said he changed his mind and went somewhere else. Do we have him?
No, you're thinking about somebody else. No, we totally signed the Grit. You guys may remember the Grit because, one, he has really long, stringy hair. That's what we call him, Grit. And number two is that he tore his knee up or his leg up. I think it got broken. I think both bones in his upper leg got broken. And it was on FedEx Field, yet another leg tragedy against us like a year and a half ago. So he's come back from that.
What's this dude's name? Gates or something?
His name's Johnny Gates.
Johnny Gates?
Nick Gates.
Like the dude from PA? That guy was opposite body shape of a lineman, I gotta say.
He might have been skinnier than me, and that's saying something.
That dude was skinny, man. If he turned sideways, you wouldn't see him. Anyway, Nick Gates.
I can't say anything about it because I spit it through that window at your parents' house at one time.
Oh, have we told that story on here?
We did before, yeah.
Like
I was really
ago?
skinny at that time.
Dude, all right. You know how those windows have those little like things that pop up that let you only open it like this far? Like
it was open
5 inches.
This
maybe?
much.
I don't know, but John, I was locked out of my house one day, but one of the windows was unlocked except for those little like vent lock things.
It was you and me and E.
We just slid John in there like a piece of mail through a mail slot, and he went through and unlocked the door.
Like you and E lifted me up, and I went in like horizontal, like a plank through the window. And the worst part was getting my head through.
Your head was the biggest thing. Dude, imagine if we tried to put E's head through there. That dude's head is giant.
He would not have fit.
Oh my gosh.
Well, anyway, Johnny Gates is also an offensive lineman.
We're calling him Johnny from now on.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Johnny Gates.
He's also an offensive lineman. It sounds like we're giving Chase Roulier some competition at center, especially because if Chase Roulier saves the team, it's like $12 million this year. He's on a big contract, and he's been hurt he's been hurt a lot. So, like two major injuries in the last 2 years.
Roulier, how is he doing? Have we heard an injury report about him?
He'll be back.
Okay.
But we'll see. I mean, we still can cut him. He and Logan Thomas are like this close to getting cut right now.
Yeah, but Roulier is good when he plays.
Yeah, but he's hurt all the time.
Speaking of, we haven't gotten to that part yet. So I'll get to that later. I don't want to segue to that.
Okay, so those are the two offensive linemen that we've gotten so far.
Good. Like so far in free agency, we're picking up dudes that we need as far as position-wise. I don't know if they're the best, but
they're better than last year with freaking Trey Turner.
Yes.
And that other lineman, not Larson, who was that lineman? The other Carolina lineman. The dude with the humongous stomach.
Oh my gosh. I can't remember.
I can't even remember. It's not Larson.
You were just like, dude, that guy's stomach. Norwell.
Andrew Norwell.
That dude, is he cut or is he still on the squad?
I think he's still on the squad.
Oh my gosh. That dude was giant.
So anyway, we got that Nick Johnny Gates guy.
Johnny Gates.
And,
Okay, so we got a
let's
few
see.
linemen.
Oh, Tyler Larson re-signed, thank goodness, because we need a third string. We really need a third string center.
Dude, I know we already talked about Wiley, but one more point I want to make. It says a lot that if you're coming off of a Super Bowl winning team and coming to us. Like in the past, no Super Bowl winning team players would come to our team.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So this Bieniemy dude is like we already said when he got hired. He might bring some players along.
He's brought 2 players in. He also brought in a wide receiver, like the last wide receiver, probably the 5th wide receiver, but somebody who was playing in Kansas City and got him a ring.
He's got to be better than that. Who was the guy that was returning at 4 yards for us every single play this year? Was it Milne?
Apke.
No, I think it was Milne.
Milne, dude, he's way better than
4
Milne.
yards, Milne.
4 yards, Milne, and no cloud of dust.
At 4 yards, Milne. Oh my gosh. 3-Pete's worried that if Kenny Ken changes his name on Discord to Kenny Ken the 7th, he's going to be gone. It's like a curse or something. Because we had Will the 5th.
Man, where's Will?
I haven't been able to get in touch with Will.
Yeah.
Will the 5th has disappeared. Sean the 6th went and became a Buccaneers fan, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
And
He said he came back, but we haven't heard from him since he did that.
he changed it. Oh my gosh.
He did. He changed it to the 7th.
He's not going with the curse. He's going to be around, I think. Kenny Ken the
Cold
7th.
Canada for the curse. Yeah.
Yeah. The curse doesn't extend to Canada. That's going to be the name of this podcast.
It doesn't make it through the border change into Canada.
The curse doesn't extend to Canada. Anyway.
All right. So we got this Marcus Kemp guy.
Is that the receiver's name?
That's the receiver's name. We also got a tackle named Drew Himmelman.
He apparently was on our team last year, right? But I'd never heard of him.
For like half a week.
You know why we picked him up? Well, you know why we picked him up again? So that we could him again. There's some guys we love to just pick up and cut. Pick up and cut.
Oh yeah.
Pick up and cut.
Like Danny Johnston.
Wait, isn't Apke still on the team? Am I dreaming that, or did we re-sign him at the end of the year? I think we did.
I don't think he's not on the roster right now, but he's a reserve. He's on the futures he got a futures contract.
What is a futures contract? Should have asked this of Kenny when he was.
Basically, it ties the guys down so they don't get tied by or picked up by other teams.
So is it like, dudes, we might want you guys in the future? Sign this contract.
And if they don't sign contracts, you guys are like borderline roster moves. But if you sign this, you're kind of guaranteed a little bit more. And if not, I guess you go to free agency, kind of like Cam Dantzler Sr., the cornerback that we picked up who went on waivers because he wasn't given a futures contract by the Minnesota Vikings.
I remember that guy being kind of good.
He was a 3rd rounder like 3 years ago.
Yeah, maybe he'll be something then.
Yeah.
So that was a good pickup. And then we signed this linebacker named Cody
Barton.
Barton?
Barton. Barton. Barton.
Cody Barton. And
Cody Barton, who is replacing.
Wait, hold on. Cody Barton. Signed.
Because he's replacing Cole Holcomb.
Kind of. Now, here's my thought on Cole Holcomb.
He is replacing him apparently because they let Cole Holcomb sign with Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh cut one of their linebackers just like a couple hours before we did the podcast. And I've been seeing people online being like, "Do we need to pick him up?" I'm like, "Dude,
he must suck."
We let Cole Holcomb go, and they cut that guy to get him. So we don't want that guy.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
We don't want another. We don't want like another David Mayo coming in.
Unless it was a money thing, like a contract thing. Because why would you take – that doesn't make sense. we cut a guy, and they're like, oh, that dude's better than what we have, so let's pick him up and then cut this guy, only for us to take the, you said it already.
We could have just traded him.
We would have just traded him straight up. But anyway, here's my thought with Cole Holcomb.
Yeah.
I'm a little afraid of his injuries. And maybe Ron knows something about that, because I thought it was interesting that they said they were signing Cole Holcomb depending on a physical. You usually only hear that depending on a physical thing. They're worried about injury.
Interesting. Huh.
And, that's the only thing I could think of, because I looked at the stats of this Cody Barton guy, and Cole Holcomb on paper comparison looks way better than that.
Yeah.
So I don't think this is going to be a replacement.
Yeah. We'll see. Well, I saw a picture of Cole Holcomb this afternoon, I think on the NFL Network, and it was a picture of him chasing down a receiver that had beat him in the middle in coverage. And I was like, well, this is the last time we'll see you wearing our uniform chasing after someone. I guess you'll have a Steelers uniform chasing after somebody this year. Because we know he can't cover worth a crap.
Do we still have Chin and Nova Scotia's favorite guy, David Mayo?
I know he's been re-signed.
Wait, hold on. Mayo.
Re-signed. Dude, we got Kalike Hudson too, dude. He's been re-signed.
Signed. You mentioned Danny Johnson, and I like this signing. That dude can play when he gets his chance. He's always good on special teams, and he comes in when he has to. And it seems like he's been on the team for 20 years. It seems like he's been there for 20 years. I think he's been cut at least 20 every time. I'm like, we still have Danny Johnson?
You said that at least 3 times in the last season alone.
Yeah.
It's just like, who? Still?
I don't know. So, anyway, I like that guy. I'm glad we re-signed him. What's going on with the Jeremy Reeves situation? And we offered him a tender or something? Whatever.
Dude, hold on.
Oh, sorry.
We re-signed F.A. Obata.
I like that one. He tears it up when he's in there.
Are you sure you're not talking about Bada and not Obata?
No, I'm not. I consider them one dude, one joint, like a conjoined twin. F.E.O. Bada Bing Bada. What about this guy? Is the one from England, right? And the other one is from some Germany. One of them's from Germany.
I think Obata from Germany.
Which one, Bada or Obata?
Bada, I think, is from Germany, and Obata, I think, was in England.
Which one did we re-sign? The England or the
We re-signed Obata, buddy.
Is he
Obata,
German?
buddy.
Wait, is Obata German or English? Because he sounds Irish by his name.
Obata is, I guess, English.
All right, I'll remember that because David Bada is close to Ireland. Okay. I'll keep him straight now. Obata, English. Bada,
I think Obata's German. English.
And
Bada
I swear I thought they were one guy until the very end of the season.
Bada bada bing.
Bada bada bing. Well, which one of them kicked butt?
I think Obata has done pretty well on the defensive line. He's a good backup to have.
Wait, and where does Bada play? Defensive line. Don't they both? They're one guy. They're joined at the hip. They wear one. They only wear one.
Whoa! So David Bada.
Oh, you're looking.
Is a defensive tackle. F.A. Obata is a defensive end. They're obviously different people.
No, they're right next to each other, attached. End and tackle right next to each other, dude.
Do they only have one contract since they're attached? Or do they have to have 2?
Bada bada bing. Well, who did we sign?
Obata. Obata has been re-signed, but Bada Bing is still on the team.
Oh, I like both of those guys because I can't tell them apart, and I've never seen one and been like, oh, man, that guy just got whiffed.
Obata.
All right, so I'm glad we signed those guys. Whoever, Obata, the Irishman. England. All right, so go ahead.
Irishman.
from England. Go ahead with the rest of our signings, dude.
I think that's it so far. Jeremy Reeves, we were talking about. He has not signed a contract yet. He has been extended a qualifying offer to restricted free agent Jeremy Reeves.
Doug, what is it?
So if anyone gives him an offer, we can match that offer, kind of like we did last year with McKissick. Speaking of McKissick, cut.
Doug, what is it?
McKissick got cut for.
Well, his neck is
He got
injured.
cut.
We already
Yeah,
pretty
because his
much
neck
knew.
was so injured.
We
Yeah.
knew it's a sad situation because I like that dude,
Yeah.
and it kind of sucks, but we kind of knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Anyway, but there's one big signing that we didn't even talk about yet, and one big departure that we didn't talk much.
Well, we talked about David Mayo already.
I'm talking about the Heineke leaving and Brissett signing, dude. Haven't really.
Didn't we already talk
mentioned
about that
it, but
before
we didn't get
anything
into it.
else? Oh, okay.
No, I think you and I discussed in length before the podcast. We only
Yeah.
mentioned it on. So
Number 4, Taylor Heineke.
we talked about it a little bit. We said that everyone loves Heineke and wishes him well. Everyone appreciates his heart and soul that he poured into this team, and we're happy for it. However,
They're going to be lucky to have him down there in Atlanta. in Atlanta.
if we couldn't get him, though, which I guess they had a number they weren't going to pay more for him, I see some upside in Brissett. I looked at the stats side by side, and if you look at the Pro Football Focus stats, which are, I don't know, apparently they're advanced stats, they have Brissett way higher up in their rating. On their 0 to 100 rating that takes everything into account. I want to say that Brissett was like 81 or something, and
He had a really good
Heineke
year
was like
last
49
year.
or something.
Like he didn't have a great win-loss record as the starter while they were waiting for Sean Watson to come up. Can make some kind of joke there, I guess. But he
nice
did really well there. He did really well there. He's kind of at the pinnacle of his career. So hopefully he'll stay there or maybe we can do a lot worse than having him in. I mean, we could have signed Matt Ryan. We could sign Marcus Mariota.
I think it was a great pickup.
I think it's a great pickup. He's going to make like $8 million this year, though.
There's other reasons why I think it's great. Because if we would have brought in someone like Lamar, that would have handcuffed us for years. If we would have brought in someone like Rodgers, the same. If we would have brought in one of these other veteran guys that still thinks they can be a starter or demands to be a starter, then we have that. This guy seems comfortable playing or backing up. The Heineke thing, I guess I kind of see it a better situation for Sam Howell with Brissett than Heineke, just because, I don't know, Heineke has a lot of loyal friends in Washington that as soon as Howell throws one pick, they're going to be standing for Heineke, and I don't know if he would get as fair a shot as Brissett, who fans aren't as, what's the word, behind yet, because he doesn't have history with the team.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a better situation for Sam Howell and seeing what he has with him there.
Yeah. And I mean, we all know that Ron Rivera is not a big Taylor Heineke fan when it comes down to it.
Oh, no.
So, because he always was trying to replace him the whole time. Every time he was here, he was trying everything to replace him.
Even Wentz, after we knew Wentz sucked.
Yeah. After went through those few games where we lost. But, I mean, we were playing like some of the best teams in the NFL, like the 49ers. So, I don't know. I think we're going to see Taylor Heineke running his tail off and diving pylons down there at the Georgia Dome or whatever they call that one, the Mercedes-Benz Dome nowadays.
Dude, I think it's hilarious. I saw this thing about Brissett coming to Washington. It might have been on the Commanders' website, and you know what they had as the picture?
What?
It was him in a Browns uniform diving for a pylon.
No way.
Yeah, dude, I saw it today.
Ha ha
And I
ha.
was like, whoa. I don't know if I like that they put that in there. Kind of like a
Well, some people are just they think that Heineke's the best guy ever. So they may be like, he's the only guy who's ever done for a pilot, dude. And they're like, no, Jacoby Brissett has done this as well. See,
I like Heineke, but I'm interested to see what Brissett can do.
Heineke's Heineke's at the top of his powers. Like,
Yeah.
we don't expect him to really get any better physically.
And Brissett is huge too, dude. He's like 6'4".
Yeah, he's a big guy. I mean, wasn't he Andrew Luck's backup for a while?
Seems like he's backed up like everyone. Like, I don't know. But anyway, I like the signing. I really like the signing. Kenny Ken the 7th is in the chat room now talking about how he actually likes the Bart. I mean, I was just looking at the stat sheet, but Kenny Ken is saying that he was Bobby Wagner's backup and then finally was able to played well, and was their Mike and led the team in tackles. Yeah, he had like, what, 100? Did I read he had like 130 some tackles?
Had a ton of tackles last year, which tells me that the Seahawks defensive line was poop.
Yeah. We didn't really talk about. We haven't had a podcast since Deron Payne signed. How do you feel about the signing? The big one. We didn't even talk about.
I think I was surprised. I was surprised. I think I was as surprised as a lot of people were that he didn't sign with anyone else. But the day after that, I can't remember who it was, but it was a defensive lineman. He was signed for like $40 million contract, like a lower contract. It was like a third lower than what Deron Payne signed for. I was like, damn, Deron Payne.
He's getting paid more than Jonathan Allen now.
Yeah, but Jonathan Allen did that 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So stuff like that doesn't bother me. The thing with Deron Payne, they're saying he's got the second highest like contract behind Aaron Donald right now, or whatever it is. That's cool. He had a great year. I don't know. There's something.
I'm concerned, dude. We spoke.
I'm very. I think we're gonna have a lot clearer an idea of what's going on, because if both he and Allen have a great year, we'll have to figure out, are we going to move money into Montez Sweat? We're going to move money to Chase Young. Neither one. That reminds me of the Vikings defensive line about 10 years ago or so, where they had two just fantastic defensive tackles, and their defense was really stout.
I wouldn't be surprised if we trade Chase.
I was thinking on draft day that we might trade Deron Payne.
I've heard that too. I guess I heard it from you. I heard that.
I mean, the 16 of Deron Payne, and suddenly we could have like the 3 pick.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, what if we did that? What if we traded up and got one of those quarterbacks, like that Richardson guy that apparently just, went rocketing up the draft board?
Yeah.
I mean,
everyone looks really great running around in their underwear and throwing at stuff without any pressure on their faces during that weekend. Everyone looks fantastic. I'm just saying.
But yeah, we could trade him. I don't know if we will. I think we're more likely to trade Chase Young. When do we have to decide on the 5th-year option? Is it like this week?
No, I don't think so. I don't think we have to do that until the end of the year. After the year. Because the year ends or begins in like January, February, whenever it is. I don't know why we would have to do that now.
I either heard March or May. Let me look it up.
You have to look that up.
All right,
So we got those guys there, and don't forget, some people have been like, why do we spend so much money on him when we've got that Fedarian Mathis guy as a 2nd-round pick coming back?
May 1.
And I can see that, but we're talking about a guy who had a major serious knee injury, who's like 320 pounds coming back.
But if he's good,
we're not talking about a wide receiver or like a cornerback. We're talking about a humongous defensive lineman. Yeah. And there's so much more weight on that knee, so it's a lot harder for them to come back from stuff like this. Honestly.
Yes, I know, but if he does come back, look how stout that he has a potential to be really good. Really good.
Who, Fedarian?
Yeah. Darian.
I guess. I don't know.
We saw him for like one snap. But he came
Yeah,
out
I
of
know.
Alabama and high up in the. Was he a second round pick?
He was a second round pick, but we drafted him like well ahead of what people thought we would,
I don't know.
because we needed that second round pick. And then we had all those picks that we got from the trading down.
I'm
We
calling
got Sam
it.
Howell and then Brian Robinson and whatnot.
I'm calling it though, dude. I think we're gonna trade Chase Young.
I that's definitely I think if he's not living up to expectations, we'll definitely.
I think we might
It's a
trade
tough
him
one
at the
because
draft.
it's a tough one. You know why? Because it's March.
He has to. They have to announce it May 1st
For this year or next year?
for 2024 for the 5th year up.
They have to announce it by this year?
I think so. If I read it correctly. You know who would know? 3-Pete. Tell us in the room.
See, I don't see from
He
what
knows
I
all
remember,
this
those 5th-year options don't get picked up until like,
I'm looking
well,
at
it might be before this last year, and that way they know. I don't know.
5th year
If
option.
I knew all this stuff, I'd be running the Commanders.
Chase Young is 2020 draft class, right?
Yes.
It says the Commanders have until May 1st to pick up the 5th year option on 2020. So, yeah, I could see him.
Are you sure he was from? Are you sure he?
Not sure of anything, dude.
I think it was from. I think it was from 2020 was his first year. Yeah. Well, we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find
We'll
out.
find out. He was pretty good his first year. He kind of stunk his second year, and then his knee tore up.
Yeah.
And he came back a little bit this year, so that was hopefully his warm up to go into next year. So we'll see.
I think we're trading him. Calling it. 3-Pete says no way.
What about
I don't think we're trading Deron Payne.
no.
I don't think we'd give him that huge guaranteed contract and then trade him.
I think we're going to talk about this one a lot when we get to the trade deadline during the season, if those two guys haven't been traded already.
I mean, we'll find out about Chase, but I mean, he played well in that last game that he came back, last 2 games. He played pretty well. He looked good. I don't know. Ron was pretty non-committal on him.
Yeah.
This 5th year option. We'll see. And I think if we sign him,
guys.
I want to say if we do pick up his 5th year option, it's a pretty big salary cap hit.
It is, but it's still a rookie contract.
All right, look. Excuse me. Repeat just put an article
In our
Go
Discord.
look at it. I want to see what the salary cap will be. Salary cap hit. 17.4 million in 2024.
Okay, yeah, that's not bad.
No, that's not bad if he's doing well, it's not bad. But if he plays like he did the last 2 years, it is.
Yeah, exactly. So what would you do then? What do you think?
I'd pick up the 5th year and then trade him.
I was about to say, yeah, I wouldn't pick up the 5th year, but if you're going to trade him, and that gives another team like a year and a half, we trade him at the trade deadline, or 2 years before this.
Yeah. Here's what I would do.
Take a second round pick.
I'd pick up the 5th year option. I'd play him this year and see, are you living up to what we need? If he's not, trade him.
And if he is, you can sign him to a new contract before next season if you want to.
And be like, you earned it, dude. And Ron's kind of already, I like how Ron, I mean, say what you will about him, but I like how he has taken dudes like Terry McLaurin, Jonathan Allen, now Deron Payne, the dudes that have proved themselves that we've brought up from within, and he's signing them to the big deals to stay here, where in the past 20 years, these people would just go somewhere else.
I saw something, I think today online, and someone was talking about the 49ers. And when they go through their roster, they have their like handful of A chip players, their A guys, and they re-sign their A guys. And for everyone that's a B guy or lower, they're okay with letting them walk because they're just going to draft guys who are going to be C or B guys again to fill those spots.
Yeah.
But the A guys you got to hold on to. And that's something that we have not done
We're starting to.
very often. We're starting to finally.
Yeah.
Finally.
And it paid off with Jonathan Allen. It paid off with Terry McLaurin. Hopefully it'll pay off with Deron Payne. And maybe they're playing that little game with Chase Young. Show us what you can do this year. We'll sign you.
Show us what you got, dude.
You're not going to do that with B and C guys like Cole Holcomb. I like Cole Holcomb, but was he awesome? No.
No, you can replace that guy. I feel like Cole Holcomb is kind of at his ceiling.
He's expendable.
Because again, he can't cover anybody.
No. None of our linebackers can. Jamin Davis took a step forward last year, but
yeah. Nobody else took a step forward except for him.
So, I mean, we're filling all these holes, dude, and I'm like, it's weird because last year in the draft, I'm like, we didn't get a linebacker, we didn't get O-line, we didn't do this, and now in free agency, I'm like, well, at least they're getting guys. I don't know how good they are in positions where we need them. So
yeah, because and like you said earlier in the podcast, because people are actually starting to sign with us again. Because one, Eric Bieniemy of my enemy is my friend. And number two, they know that 20-something years of Dan Snyder crap are about to get thrown out the window.
Yeah, fresh start.
And it could be a great time to start signing with this team because once we get our owner,
we're contenders now.
I think that again, we've been talking about Jeff Bezos doing this for a long time. I think he's already pretty much got it where he's going to build a stadium and everything.
All right.
Like he could start building that stadium and get it done in time for us to be in there because our lease goes to like 2026, 27.
I think it's 7 or 8.
I think it's 6 or 7. I know for sure.
Yeah. We need
so
to
if we get started in the next year, it might get done in time. And then we can kiss FedEx crappy feel goodbye.
Shanny just popped in here.
What's up, Shanny?
I'm telling him, he's like, what's going on? Go in the live Discord room.
Snyders have cleared out of the facility.
Oh, look at this. Shanny puts it up. With sale of Commanders believed to be imminent. The Snyders have cleared out of the facility. Source: Pro Football Talk.
And no more pipes will be raining crap down on people now the Snyders have left the stadium. Amazing.
It's done. This deal is done. It's either the Rails Harris dude or Bezos.
Or it's Bezos. Yeah.
And either way, I'm going to a parade. I'm going to parade. Parade. I'm going to drag you up there.
There will be thousands of people at this parade.
Thousands. I'm better be at the parade. He needs to bring his Labats down and head to the parade with us. Just kidding, dude. We'll get you some.
I had a roommate in London once, and he was from Newfoundland, and he called Labatt. He said, "And I got me some Labatt." And he would talk like that. Anyway, dude, I got me some beers. They're Labatts, or no Labatt. He wouldn't say S because there's no S on there. He's like, it's Labatt.
Well, we're going to talk about the draft scenarios on the next podcast because what I was getting at with all these free agents we're signing, I kind of need to reevaluate who I think we should get in the draft.
Cornerback, offensive lineman. If we can get a shutdown corner in the first round, but are we going to move up? Or are we going to trade back? Are we going to trade Deron Payne in the first round pick to move up?
I mean,
maybe Chase Young.
Yeah, there's a few of those corners. There's like the Gonzalez, and then the dude from Illinois, Witherspoon.
Joey Porter Jr.
All these dudes that people were saying we might get at 16. The latest mock drafts I've seen now, those guys are going in the top 10. All three of them.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see.
Anyway, we'll talk about that on the next podcast. But before we go, dude, we have a very special guest to the podcast. And this dude is someone we've had on in years past.
Who's that? Josh?
No, you know who it is.
Oh.
In fact, he's been on the podcast multiple times, and now he's going to come on and talk to us about his retirement, and that is none other than Jerome Booger. Jerome, welcome to the show.
Yes, it's very good to be here today. Yes.
So, Jerome, what went into your decision to finally retire from the league?
Well, I'm unretired now, but then I retired again. And then they brought me back, so I was unretired, but now I'm retired for the second time. Yes.
Is it going to be for permanent this time, or are you going to come back? Maybe we'll see you in the booth.
They're saying that I might be taking over for Dean Blandino over at XFL. So I can call necessary roughness for those guys whenever I want.
Dude, I could see you, Jerome, in the booth.
Yes,
reviewing plays and telling us what you think the rules are.
Yes, I always think that the rules should be a little bit there should be a little bit of flexibility in the rules. I love my flexibility,
like position flex. All right.
Yes.
Well, we'd like to thank you for your service before and after retirement, and now your second retirement. And
I may be back again this year,
Oh yeah, are you going to go to the USFL?
I may go to Canada.
They only have 3 downs there, right?
What?
They can move before the snap, right?
I did not know that.
All right. Anyway. We'll maybe have you on again sometime, but good luck ousting Dean Blandino.
Dean, I'm coming for you. Yeah.
That was Jerome Booger, everybody.
Definitely not me.
Definitely
Booger,
not.
100%.
It looked exactly like Jerome. Anyway, I think that about rounds it out, dude. Like to give a shout out to everybody that was in the Discord room today, which was trying to see it, but there's an advertisement. Which was
we got
Shanny,
3P, Shanny,
Ian 28, man of few words, Ian 28,
Chris Comerton, Kenny Ken the 7th.
Kenny Ken the 7th. The name has changed, but the curse doesn't extend to Canada.
We saw Firefly in there earlier. He's probably asleep.
Yeah.
It's late night there.
It's funny because
getting late here, man. It's past 8 o'clock. I'm an old man. I need to go to bed soon.
Yeah, 3 Pete's in there. Fact checking us as always.
Yeah, true. That's what we need. That's for sure.
Because we're too lazy to check ourselves.
And if you guys are looking for our Discord chat room, you can go to tinyurl.com/HarryHF. That's HarryHF.
Everyone's welcome as long as you're a Redskins fan and you're not a bot. Or a Cowboys.
You're not a bot. Cowboy bot.
Speaking of, someone hacked 3 Pete's account because he was in there earlier this week talking about how much he loved Jerry Jones and his son.
And his son.
And Zeke. Anyway. All right, dudes. Send us an email.
Sign Zeke.
HHFpodcast@gmail.com. Give us a call on the hog line, 202-735-1788.
Goes right to voicemail.
I think that rounds it out, and hopefully we'll see you guys at a parade soon. But until then,
heck yeah.
If you see a Cowboys fan,
you know what to do, Zeke.
Joker!